it's important to watch these, or at least implement these in order. This is number 2 out of 16 videos talking about the steps. It's very important, the order. So this is number 2. First one was take responsibility. This one is commit to your self-improvement. Now, there's a differentiator there. If you're taking responsibility, then you're just not externalizing the problem, and you're internalizing it and giving yourself power. But taking responsibility is the first step, which is a prerequisite for committing to your self-improvement. So you have to be 100% committed now that you see that it's your responsibility and it's not some external force, some, in the cosmos, or your neighbor, or fast food, or the television, or whatever. We'll get to all those things later. But once you take responsibility, you're able to be committed now. If you're not committed, then none of the other stuff's going to work, because you're going to go in half-assed. You're going to do just a portion of it, or you're going to look at it as something that giving up is an option, and then you're going to give up as soon as the going gets tough. Moving forward into something that's hard, you're going to have to be really, really committed. So if you're not committed 100%, 110%, whatever the case may be, like your life depends on it, because it does. If you're unhealthy, if you're in poverty, if you're in a bad situation, you're in bad relationships. If you're unhealthy, there's a health risk right there. You have all kinds of problems with being high blood pressure. I was able to lower I was real high blood pressure. Now I'm completely off blood pressure medicine, and my blood pressure is perfect. I was able to accomplish that. I didn't think I could even do that. So that's a big plus. That's one of the number 1 killers in the United States, is high blood pressure. Okay? If you're unhealthy, that might be an issue. Go ahead and get it checked right now, just to be safe. Check it periodically. Get yourself a blood pressure monitor and make sure that you check that, because that is a huge deal. People are dying of heart attacks and having open heart surgeries and things like that, just because they don't even realize, because their blood pressure is high, because you don't feel anything. If you're having any kind of headaches, any kind of stress headaches, check your blood pressure. Okay? A little side tangent there, but it's extremely important. So when you're committed, like your life is depending on it, because it is, same thing with not having enough money, stressed about money, stressed about finances, being able to take care of your family. If you don't have that, and you're constantly stressed about it, then there's dripping cortisol into your blood system, into your body. Even if you're in perfect physical condition, you have this negative cortisol drip, this cortisol underlying this undertow of negativity in your background, which is going to drag you down, and could cause like life and death situations. So it is a life and death situation if you don't have your body right, if you don't have your finances right, if you don't have your relationships, and everything if you can possibly have, improving yourself, okay, then you're not going to feel good about yourself. There's always going to be something in the back of your mind that you don't feel good about, and it's going to cause problems in the future, major, major problems. So you just have to look around at other people that have major health problems, and you'll see that these are things that have a lot of it is the choices they make in their life, and that they don't know better sometimes. So if you're committed to your self-improvement, if you have even if you have genetic issues, okay, you learn about your genetic issues, and then you try to take appropriate actions to try to mitigate that negative consequence, the possible consequence. So that goes back to taking responsibility instead of externalizing the problems. So be committed like your life depends on it, because it does depend on it. And your life, if you have children or anything like that, children, grandchildren, spouse, there's other people that rely on you. There's other people that look up to you. You want to be a role model. You want to be somebody that's positive in your community, positive in your family. So it's your life. You can have a positive life or a negative life. So this is all life and death for me. I mean, I'd rather, it's hard to live and go forward to being a negative influence or a negative person in a community or in a family. It's better to have a positive. That's actually living to me, So it is life or death as far as dying from a heart attack or things, but it's also just living an unfulfilled life is almost like dying in itself, in some ways, a slow death. So be committed, like it's life and death, because it is life and death.